Hi. I thought I should probably talk a little bit about the modified tee and why I don't do the traditional tee or the double tee. I want to say that I've done them both. When I first started training dogs professionally, and my first few dogs I trained myself, I did the double tee. And I did that because that's what was in the Mike Lardy manual, and that's kind of how I learned to train dogs, was following that. Still very good information there. That's what he had set up, so I just followed it and tried to copy, what someone else did who was very good at doing what they do. Which, if there's anything in life you're gonna do, train a dog, shoot a bow and arrow, race cars, find who's the best of the best and copy them, and generally that's gonna work pretty good. But anyways, as I progressed in my knowledge of what I was doing and started understanding more the mental side of things with dog training, I started to understand that it really didn't matter if I was doing the double tee or the single tee. It more was how well did I teach that dog to try harder, and how well did I teach that dog to respond properly to collar pressure, especially with all the different kinds of pressures you can use. But at a distance from you, the electronic training collar is so important. And I learned that's what mattered the most, really, was my approach, my philosophical approach to training, not so much if I did the double tee or the single tee. Now, having said that, I started to see a lot running blind retrieves, initial blind retrieves with dogs, where I wasn't getting any kind of angle casting out of that dog. And what I mean is, like, toot on a blind retrieve and a cast need a direction change, and I'll get like a hard over. Then toot and then back, and I get a dig back, straight back, but then fading with the factor or giving into the suction. So let's say curving out and left, something was over there attracting the dog, or the wind was pushing the dog, or whatever. Then toot, I try to cast back this way and get that hard over, And so I said to myself, hey, stupid, you're seeing this with a lot of different dogs, not just one individual dog. So I started thinking about it, that maybe doing hundreds and thousands of repetitions of going over and back was maybe not a healthy thing. So if I can train the dog still the same, with the same approach mentally, like teaching the right response to pressure, making sure that effort is there in the dog, but if I can do it in a little different way, that might help physically what the dog is doing sometimes. Because when I'm talking about this dog going hard over and then back, a lot of times I felt the dog was trying hard, just didn't know what to do. So I'd go teach a lot of casting drills and stuff. And, we get there. But thought, well, there's always a better mousetrap. So doing this modified tee is more like a kind of a crow's foot. So we got our back pile, and then we got our, what would be over piles, but it's not so much like the tee, right? It's more like this. So when we stop the dog, we can get some angle casting in, and we can get some different casts, and it's not all just overs and backs. Also, I try really hard for there not to be a straight back. What? There's no straight back? No. If you're giving a straight back, it means that you either stop the dog with the whistle when you should not have, or your dog has a loopy sit and looped into on the right way, and now straight back is what you need. But normally, if your dog stops, boom, on a whistle right now, like it should, you stop it because you want a direction change, a little bit of one, or more, or a lot. So I try not to do straight backs, because that's just kind of giving into the dog going and then fading over, like scalloping or giving into a factor, being pushed or sucked over a certain way we don't want. So the modified tee kind of came about this idea that I can get some more angle casting in initially. I can also line the dog to 3 piles, so I kind of get more benefit with the lining. Now if I see a dog not wanting to get a pile, I'm going to send it to that one a lot and work through it and use the collar and have it try harder and do good and yay and repeat it, and it does good. It goes to the pile I want. Good dog. I'm gonna do that. So same kind of philosophical approach as the T or the double T, but with more variety of casting and lining involved, where I'm not always sending to that back pile. I'm sending to the over piles too, but they're kind of farther back too, so it's not like they're just right there. And I started doing that and seeing better results after doing pattern blinds. So that's my little explanation of the modified T and why I have evolved into using that instead. Thanks.